At this point, the Republican Party is such a collection of misfit toys, of rejected ideas, of food left out for 3 days, of utterly stupid people bereft of any common sense and any morality, that it shouldn't really shock you that they chose to line up behind Donald Trump after Mar-a-Lago was raided, not knowing what was in the actual warrant. But they were dumber than that. They all know who Donald Trump is. Many of them called him a con man, like Marco Rubio did and Ted Cruz did, as he was calling Ted Cruz's wife ugly before Ted Cruz decided to kiss his feet, because that's what Republicans do for power. They know who the guy is, and yet they chose, after boxes and boxes of information were taken out by the FBI, which of course they knew the FBI was there because a federal judge had issued a warrant and signed it for the FBI to execute, that counterintelligence officials had been involved and came out. And now, of course, Donald Trump is being investigated for the Espionage Act. And we now know that he had nuclear secrets among the papers that he stole. He was asked to give back, but refused because he's a jackass and he can do whatever he wants, except for he couldn't this time. And the agents showed up and they raided Mar-a-Lago and they executed the warrant and they opened his little man safe with its various trinkets in it. Who knows what and who cares? But what matters is they got the papers out. And you have all these people on the record now. You have Rick Scott, and you have Marco Rubio on the record, Ted Cruz on the record, saying that the FBI better show us Wray, who, by the way, was appointed by Donald Trump, head of the FBI, and Reinhardt, the judge, or whoever, better, Merrick Garland better show us what this was about quickly. They better show us, or they'll be hell to pay. They just unsealed the warrant, by the way, folks, at the request of Merrick Garland. He had a press conference about that yesterday. He was going to do this quietly. Donald Trump opened his big mouth. Stupid, idiot, jackass Republicans opened their big mouths to defend a guy who they know is literally the collection of everything that everyone has ever dropped on the ground or gotten in the bottom of their shoe, all scraped together and wrapped together and put in a bun like a hot dog. That's what Donald Trump is. But they all defended him. Let me give you this example. Ronnie Jackson. Remember him? Dr. Ronnie Jackson. The fact that he ever got to that position should scare everybody. A guy who said that Donald Trump was strong like bull. He's going to live till he's like 200 years old, even though you could look at his weight and you could look at the blood tests and everything and tell that he already is getting hardening of arteries, and he's as about in shape as I don't know. I don't want to finish that metaphor because I was going to say something gross. In any case, that's where we are. So yeah, Ronnie Johnson. Here's the quote: "Nuclear weapon documents, triple question mark." The guy, he's good with the punctuation. Are you kidding me? Does the DOJ have third graders creating their narrative? If they go down this path, everyone will know this information was planted. Such BS. Well, what that's managed to do so far is convince a crazy person who was at January 6th to show up at the Cincinnati, where I live, FBI headquarters and try to shoot people. He instead was chased out, shot at. There was a big chase. People were kicked off the highway. He ran into the woods and he was shot and killed. His death is on their hands. His blood is on their hands. And there could have been FBI agents and people like me whose blood would be on their hands, but they don't care. Just the way they don't care that they defend Donald Trump when they know he's the sleaze of the earth. Because none of this matters to them. America doesn't matter. It's all pretend to them. All the patriotism, all the freedom, all of whatever, it was always all pretend. It's about power, 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 and then maybe some money on the side. Just a classic example: Ronnie Jackson, Rand Paul are two I know of. There are many others who claimed information was planted, even with literally not a shred of evidence that said that happened. Of course, it didn't happen. Defund the FBI and all this garbage that came out of the mouths of tantric trash Karen herself, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Guess she wasn't busy stepping out with the gym owner. She had some time to speak. Lauren Boebert, she wasn't busy crashing her car and ditching her son in it. She had some time to speak. These are the kinds of childish, clown-like reactions. Kids on a swing at recess that fall off and blame their parents or somebody standing nearby. Everybody else's fault, never theirs. These are the people that want to run this country. These people that have run this country. It's the reason they cannot run this country. The Republican Party, the whole right-wing edifice needs to be burned to the ground. And principled conservatives, there were once such things. There are a few of them still. I think their policies are all freaking awful. But Liz Cheney or Kinzinger or Mitt Romney, people that actually believe that the rule of law has some meaning to it. And so the rest of them, it'll be a lot easier to burn them to the ground because we're going to see what's going to happen as he's investigated. Did he turn over documents to the Saudis? Back in 2019, he made an argument to want to turn over nuclear materials to the Saudis. I'm sure it was because they were paying him or were going to pay him. And he was rebuked by other Republicans, by Democrats, the national security, establishment, if that's the right word. But Kushner's, magically got $2 billion for his new investment fund, even though he doesn't know how to manage an investment fund. And it's magically that new golf tournament that Saudi Arabia decided to hold with any scumbag golfer that would be in it was held at the Bedbug Bedminster, where Donald Trump buried his wife for a tax break. Gee, a lot of money for Trump. I wonder why they would do that. There's got to be a payout somewhere. And so if they find that this guy gave away nuclear materials to Saudi Arabia, every single one of these Republicans have tied themselves to him. It is not Trump, folks. It's the Republican Party. They are corrupt. They are extremist. They are filled with little children who have no understanding of democracy, no appreciation of democracy or our Constitution or any of what we wish and hope to be as a country. They just have their little factional interests. James Madison warned us about that in the Federalist 10 of the Federalist Papers about factions taking over. And that's what they all their little parochial interests, whether it's enriching their little business or getting power or getting a little bit of fame. And that's what the Republican is. It's collected all of these people like flypaper, collecting flies. And all these people now, because of who they are, because of their lack of character, have tied themselves to Donald Trump. And they're going to suffer his fate. And he's being investigated for the Espionage Act for stealing secrets and turning them over to other countries. So strap on in. Make sure you're subscribed here, because we'll keep up on this and many other stories. Turn on your notifications. Share this, honestly, with anybody you know. We were just about to hit 6,000 subscriptions in only like 2.5 months. We're doing great. We need more, though. We're going to have more of an impact. So share, family, friends, others you know. If you could like and comment, good, bad, ugly, somewhere in between, that'd be great too. Any involvement I love, and I love doing this. So thanks for being here.